Here's a hot take: sometimes the best thing a superhero can do is just quit. Just hang up the cape and embrace the ordinary. I mean, it's not so bad on the other side, right? I don't have powers, I'm having a good time. In these moments of vulnerability and human struggle, they often become truly extraordinary. Number 10, Superman. In the iconic Silver Age story, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, Superman makes the heart-wrenching decision to permanently relinquish his powers. Crazy option, right? Burdened by the immense guilt after accidentally causing the demise of Mr. Mxyzptlk, he exposes himself to gold kryptonite, forever serving his connection to his Kryptonian abilities. As Jordan Elliott, he fades into the background, living a quiet, unassuming life, free from the relentless pressures and tragic consequences that have come in the existence of Superman. So while he eventually does return to a superhero role in later stories, this period of self-imposed normalcy reveals a deeply human side to the seemingly invulnerable Man of Steel. It's actually nice to see. This showcased his capacity for remorse and his desire for peace. Number 9, Spider-Man. The weight of the world, or at least New York City in this case, often rests heavily on Spider-Man's shoulders. In the classic Amazing Spider-Man issue 50, also titled Spider-Man No More, a disillusioned and exhausted Peter Parker decides that he's had enough. He's not doing this anymore, now he's just waving down cabs. Overwhelmed by the constant danger, the public's fickle perception of him, and of course the strain on his personal life, he famously dumps his costume in a trash can and attempts to embrace a normal life. This also happened in the movie Spider-Man 2. I was a kid watching this, I was so upset. I was like, please don't quit. I'll take your suit, just don't do that. However, the rise in crime and deep-seated sense of responsibility of course gnawed at him. Ultimately, Peter reclaims his mantle, realizing that some heroes are simply destined to be, and that his powers come with an obligation that he simply cannot ignore. Number 8. Iron Fist. Danny Rand, the immortal Iron Fist. He demonstrates the ultimate act of selfishness in Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon. Faced with a threat so powerful that it could unravel the very fabric of the Marvel Universe, Danny makes the difficult choice to transfer his Iron Fist power to Okoye. He believes that their combined might is the only way to defeat the formidable Hierophant. This selfless act leaves him without the power that had defined him for so long. No more Iron Fist, now you just have normal guy fist. It's not as fun. While the details of his life after the sacrifice are somewhat scarce, it's implied that he continues his martial arts training and remained a hero in his own human right, relying on his honed skills, unwavering spirit, and deep understanding of mystical forces. Number 7, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's journey has taken many turns, and one of the most fascinating is her Diana Prince era in the late 60s and early 70s. During this period, she surrenders her Amazonian powers to remain in man's world, choosing a life of independence and self-discovery. She opens a mod boutique, she's reflecting on all the changing times, and she dedicates herself to mastering martial arts under the blind master, I Ching. This transformation showcases her adaptability and her determination as she continues to fight for justice, relying on her intellect, resourcefulness, and newly acquired fighting skills. This period of her life, free from her divine gifts, reveals her inner strength and unwavering commitment to protecting the innocent. Number 6, Thor. The God of Thunder's journey is one of growth and self-discovery, and of course a nice big beard and a hammer definitely helps out. A significant part of that journey involves being humbled, God or not. In the first Thor film, and in also various comic storylines, Odin the Allfather strips Thor of his powers and banishes him to Earth due to his arrogance and warmongering. Now, as the mortal Donald Blake, Thor is forced to confront his flaws and learn the value of humility, compassion, and self-sacrifice. He experiences the fragility of human life and the importance of empathy, again, all without a hammer. Later in the comics, after losing the ability to transform into Donald Blake, he voluntarily adopts the human identity of Sigurd Jarlsson, a construction worker, further immersing himself into this human experience that we here call life. These periods of mortality are crucial in shaping Thor into this wiser and more compassionate hero when he eventually regains his powers, proving that true strength comes not just from might, not just from a hammer, not just from our dad, but instead from understanding and respecting those that he protects. Number 5, Rogue. Rogue's story is a complex and often tragic exploration of the burdens that can come with an extraordinary ability. While she doesn't willingly give up her powers, the permanent absorption of Miss Marvel's abilities and memories dramatically alters the course of her life. I mean, of course. She's left with the fragmented identity, constantly battling the echoes of another personality that's still stuck within her own mind. That would drive me crazy. Her own mutant ability to absorb powers and life force through touch becomes both a weapon and also a curse, isolating her from her physical contact and making intimacy a very dangerous proposition. Imagine that, you hook up with someone, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I see your traumas. I get it, that's hard. Number 4. Clarke Kent. The Clarke Kent of the Smallville television series offers this unique perspective on the superhero's desire for normalcy. In the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event, this version of Clarke makes the conscious decision to give up his powers to live a quiet life with Lois Lane and even raise a family. Yeah, that versus being Superman. He embraces the simple joys and everyday challenges of family life, finding fulfillment in human connection rather than saving the world. It's a nice change for the Man of Steel. This choice highlights the universal human desire for belonging, love, and the simple pleasures of an ordinary life, even for somebody who once held the fate of the world in his hands. Number 3. Cyclops. Scotty Summers, the X-Men's field leader Cyclops, grapples with immense power and the psychological burdens that accompany it. Yeah, you can't just shoot lasers out of your eyes and then be okay after. It's gonna be some trauma. In Astonishing X-Men, he temporarily loses his ability to control his optic blasts after confronting deep-seated trauma and the emotional barriers that he erected to contain this destructive power. All that pain's coming loose and it's coming right out of your eyes. This period of powerlessness forces him to confront his inner demons, his fears, and of course, his insecurities. He is forced to rely on his teammates and his own strategic mind rather than, taking off his glasses and screaming at someone. It's a bit harder. This journey of self-discovery and vulnerability ultimately makes him a more emotionally mature, self-aware, and effective leader when he does regain control of his abilities. Number 2. Captain America. Steve Rogers, the embodiment of American ideals, makes a powerful statement in a 1974 storyline when he becomes disillusioned with political corruption and the realization that even the most revered institutions can be compromised. Like say, S.H.I.E.L.D. He abandons the mantle of Captain America, not because he loses his enhanced abilities, but because he refuses to be a symbol of a nation that he feels has lost its way. That's a very similar theme to what we're seeing with the new Captain America movie next year. He adopts the identity of nomad, the man without a country, and he continues to fight for justice, but this time on his own terms. This act of defiance demonstrates that true patriotism lies not in blind allegiance, but instead in upholding the core values of justice, freedom, and equality. And finally, number 1, Green Lantern. John Stewart, one of Earth's Green Lanterns, is known for his strong will and architectural background. However, in the Cosmic Odyssey miniseries, he's faced with a devastating tragedy. A grave error in judgment on his part ends up leading to the destruction of the planet Xanshi, leaving him shattered by guilt and remorse. Believing himself unworthy of the power ring, he quits the Green Lantern Corps, unable to bear the weight of his perceived failure. Yeah, imagine you're Green Lantern and then you quit. What are you doing, man? You're Green Lantern. Who cares? Despite leaving the Corps, he remains involved in the superhero community, joins teams like the Dark Stars, and continues to fight for what he believes is right. His struggle with the Xanshi tragedy becomes a defining element of his character arc, shaping his actions and motivations for years to come. It demonstrates that even the most powerful heroes with even the most powerful rings can be brought low by their mistakes, and the path to redemption is often long and a little dangerous. Want to see more videos like this one? Check out this video next. It's about Marvel What If Season 3, and we're going to explore some theories about how the show could be happening. Our best guesses, at least. So click that video right now. What are you waiting for? Thumbs up, subscribe, click that. 1, 2, 3. We'll see you next time. I'm Taylor McWatters. Peace.